Hello, everyone. This is General Jonathan Vance here again with another stream. I just had this thing on my mind today as it pertains to the courtroom and how one might be able to um, maintain their innocence. I think a lot of people nowadays would have the habit of in the courtroom if they're accused of something, most times it'd be criminal. They enter into what's called a plea bargain, where they plead guilty to a lesser charge and to make a deal with the prosecutor. Now, there's a couple of reasons why someone would make a deal with the prosecutor, in that they would spend less time incarcerated. Um, Maybe they fear that they don't have a sufficient defense. Maybe it's their lawyer, or maybe it's just peer pressure, or they simply can't afford being incarcerated due to circumstantial situation. There's a lot of different varieties as to why people would enter into a plea bargain. But if you can exercise your innocence, and here's why. Because when you enter into a plea bargain, any other evidence, any other testimony that might be in your favor, basically that goes out the window, because now you're guilty of something, right? And so it's just to what degree, right? And so the question of innocence is out the door. This is basically how prosecutors make their living. It's basically coercing people into plea bargains. Now, they might, exercising your innocence and not giving the court jurisdiction is probably your best bet. They might rough you around a little bit. I mean, they basically want you to submit to them. Because then they have an upper hand on you. But if you don't submit to them, then they might try to mentally break you, but like by maybe incarcerating you for a long time. But then the onus is on them to justify your detainment as well too. So if you made a one indictable offense and you don't give them jurisdiction, they need to have a compelling reason to incarcerate you. And if they don't, they are obligated to let you free, or have a trial by jury by peers. In that case, they would have to be by jury that justifies your incarceration. But there's a lot of things that can go there. But yeah, I would say always keep your innocence. Never back down their accusations. Because in the end, it actually probably work out better for you, because you have more opportunity to defend yourself. There's more possibilities. There's more testimonies that can come in and testify for you if you maintain your innocence. So plea is just a cop out, and too many people submit to that. So yeah, that's just basically my quick legal tidbit there. Take it as it is. I mean, there's totally different tangents I can go off of that, but brainwaves are blocking. But another thing I was going to also mention too is what's he say? Praising God. I noticed. I don't know. I catch myself like, when you do something successfully, like, hey, look what I did. Huh? Look, your ego kind of gets in the way, and um, kind of get prideful, and then you kind of lose the sight of the goal. You know what I mean? You kind of lose sight of you lose a little bit of discipline by um, self praise. I find, and so basically, what happens when you psychologically when you um, adjudicate your praise, or you put your praise on something else, something higher, something of higher creation, it lifts the burden out of you, because you're not um, like, oh, I did this, okay, so now I got to keep doing it, right? But when you praise, when you give success to something else, when you put it on something, it gives you a kind of a freedom, and um, it I find it might like actually help your relationships form more meaningful relationships, and not ones that boost your ego. Ego meaning um, self gratification. Um, so suppressing that, fasting helps too with the self gratification, and gratefulness. Practice gratefulness as well too. That will also alleviate any unnecessary self gratification, and free you up to pursue meaningful relationships, pursue meaningful tasks, and keep keep your eye on the ball. Basically, um, it keeps you on the straight path. So that's basically my 2 cents there. Um, but yeah, I just want to keep this nice and short. Uh, Mr. Pilu wants to do a stream on the Magna Carta on Sunday, so I'm just kind of getting ready for that. But yeah, just wanted to just reiterate, don't enter into a plea bargain, even if there's reasonable doubt. Do not enter into it, no matter what anyone says. You want to increase your likelihood of evidence being brought forth that would make their case, would undermine your case. Because, yeah, once you said, like, once you enter a plea bargain, you basically, you said you're guilty to a lesser charge, but at the same time, it limits the scope of evidence that you can bring forth. So, yeah, that's my 2 cents there. I hope that helps anybody out there might be facing legal trouble. Take it as it is. I'm not a I am a practitioner of law from the Canadian Nationalist Law Tribunal Society. So take that as it is. But yeah, that's basically it. All right. See you later.